Tonight on African Insider, we delve into the complex network of political intrigue spreading across the continent. Long before some African politicians swore oaths of office, some swore silence over secrets of sex, drugs, and fraud. This isn't rumor or gossip, it's the documented truth of how corruption often begins long before power is won. Tonight, we expose the top 10 worst African politician scandals before office. Now for the evidence. The exposé narrator takes you through the records, brief, filings, asset trails, and verified documents.
What?
Thank you, Dr. Paulo. It's good to be here again, bringing you more in-depth intel. Before we proceed, here is the disclaimer.
Disclaimer. The mission is simple, neutral, record-driven, factual. The lesson is sharper still. Political corruption and financial crimes never end in wealth that lasts. They end in exposure, sanctions, trials, and seizures. Interpol, the UNODC, and other international watchdogs do not forget. The top 10 on the list is Jacob Zuma, South Africa. Sex. Case Spotlight. The scandal entered public view when a formal rape charge was filed and read in the Johannesburg High Court. Identity. He is a South African, born in 1942. His hometown is in Nkandla, in KwaZulu-Natal. His last known jurisdiction was South Africa. Before the scandal, he served as Deputy President of South Africa from 1999 to 2005. Before the scandal, he also served as Deputy President of the African National Congress from 1997 to 2007. After the scandal, he became President of the African National Congress in 2007. After the scandal, he served as President of South Africa in 2009. His political journey began in the African National Congress underground. He rose through party leadership in the 1990s. His career culminated in the presidency. It was followed by a later return to party politics in a breakaway formation. Snapshot. Indicators and status. The pattern was an alleged sexual assault reported by a complainant identified in the record by an initial. The trial examined consent, power distance, and credibility. The status at close was an acquittal on May 8, 2006. Investigative detail. The opening lead was a complaint recorded in Johannesburg in late 2005. The investigating agency was the National Prosecuting Authority. Investigators included members of the South African Police Service. Tracking vectors included sworn statements, medical notes, and cross-examination transcripts. The breakthrough moment was the trial court's assessment of credibility and corroboration. That assessment was delivered as an oral judgment and later published as a written decision. The takedown path comprised a court appearance, bail conditions, and a full public trial. The evidence ledger relied on the charge sheet, testimony under oath, medical records, and the final judgment text. The cross-border map was limited to South Africa. Scandal evidence and network map. The public record contains sworn testimony by the complainant and by the accused. Political aides and party figures appeared as witnesses or courtroom supporters. No non-disclosure agreements were recorded in the judgment. No hush payments were proved in the court's findings. Mission recap. Enforcement actions consisted of a charge, a trial, and an acquittal. No custodial penalty followed. The public consequence was reputational scrutiny ahead of later office. National context. The jurisdiction was South Africa. Gender-based violence concerns and politicized trials have shaped public debate. Sanctions and disciplinary status. No criminal sanction stood after acquittal. Party processes were political and outside the court's order. Gap clarifier. The alleged power imbalance remains a subject of public debate.
The next entry follows an indictment that crossed oceans and calendars. The top 9 on the list is Buruji Kashamu, Nigeria. Drug. Case Spotlight. The scandal entered public view through a Chicago federal indictment that predated a Senate seat bid. Identity. He is a Nigerian, born in 1958. His hometown is Ijebu-Igbo in Ogun State. His last known jurisdiction was Nigeria. Before the scandal, he was a businessman and a People's Democratic Party organizer in Southwest. After the scandal, he served as senator for Ogun East from 2015 to 2019. After the scandal, he later ran for governor of Ogun State in 2019. His political journey moved from party mobilization and business influence to a Senate seat and then to a gubernatorial bid. He died in 2020. Snapshot, indicators, and status. The pattern was an alleged heroin import conspiracy in the 1990s. Co-defendants entered guilty pleas in the United States. The named defendant denied the charges and resisted extradition in Nigeria. The status in the United States remained open, while domestic litigation in Nigeria delayed surrender. Investigative detail. The opening lead was a Northern District of Illinois case file updated on 21 May 1998. The investigating agency was the United States Department of Justice. Relevant filings were held by the District Court and the Seventh Circuit. Tracking vectors included passenger manifests, guilty pleas by co-defendants, and seized communications. The breakthrough moment was a series of plea deals by co-defendants that preserved a government narrative while the named defendant remained abroad. The takedown path in Nigeria included a raid by the drug agency on the 22nd May 2015. Competing court orders stalled removal. The evidence ledger relied on indictments, appellate orders, and certified docket entries. The cross-border map linked Nigeria, the United Kingdom, and the United States through mutual legal assistance steps. Scandal evidence and network map. United States filings described a courier chain that moved heroin along air routes into Chicago. The evidentiary spine came from co-defendant pleas and travel records. Identity disputes featured in United Kingdom proceedings and later Nigerian litigation. A final United States conviction of the named politician did not occur. Mission recap. United States authorities kept an active indictment on file. Nigerian appellate rulings later cleared the way for extradition steps, yet removal did not occur. No custodial sentence arose in the United States. No recorded asset repatriation is attached to this file. National context. The jurisdiction was Nigeria. Extradition contests often turn on identity verification, treaty practice, and interim orders. Sanctions and disciplinary status. Travel risk remained due to the indictment and notices. No party expulsion was recorded in the cited court materials. Gap clarifier. Some filings in the United States remain sealed or redacted. Many alleged facts were not tested before a United States jury.
The next entry turns to a businessman whose case ended with clemency rather than conviction. The top 8 on the list is Patrice Talon, Benin, fraud. Case spotlight. The scandal entered public view with an alleged poison plot and a graft inquiry. The inquiry produced a diplomatic standoff and preceded a later pardon. Identity. He is a national of Benin, born in 1958. His hometown is Ouidah in the Atlantique department. His last known jurisdiction was Benin. Before the scandal, he was a business magnate in the cotton sector and a key political financier. After the scandal, he won the presidency of Benin in 2016. After the scandal, he was re-elected in 2021. His political journey shifted from private sector power and alliance with incumbents to a self-styled reform candidate and then to 2 presidential terms. Snapshot, indicators, and status. The pattern was an alleged attempt to influence state power through a reported poisoning plan and related grafts suspicions. The inquiry produced public accusations. The case closed after clemency without a conviction. Investigative detail. The opening lead was an arrest notice in Cotonou on October 23, 2012. Prosecuting authorities and security services under President Thomas Boni Yayi advanced the claim. Tracking vectors included phone contact lists, aid interviews, and prosecutor briefings. The breakthrough moment was the public designation of a businessman as an alleged instigator. The takedown path shifted into cross-border motions in Paris and diplomatic contacts. The evidence ledger comprised prosecutor statements, contemporaneous newswire reports, and the clemency notice. The cross-border map featured Benin and France with legal filings in Paris. The status changed on the 14th May 2014 when a presidential pardon was announced and the matter was closed. Scandal evidence and network map. Authorities examined interests in the cotton sector and mapped corporate ties recorded in local registers. No adjudicated embezzlement amount entered a final court judgment. The network map remains institutional rather than judicial. Mission recap. State actions began with arrests and public naming. They ended with a presidential pardon. No sentence was imposed. No forfeiture order was recorded. National context. The jurisdiction was Benin. Business influence on politics has tested prosecutorial independence. Sanctions and disciplinary status. No judicial sanction remained after the pardon. No professional ban was recorded in the cited record. Gap clarifier. Key elements rest on contested testimonies and diplomatic correspondence, with no trial-level findings on the merits. Next, we move from clemency to campus and office networks, where silence was traded for access.
The top 7 on the list is Ikechukwu Nwadialo, Nigeria. Internet fraud. Case spotlight. The scandal entered public view with a Seattle indictment for a romance fraud scheme and an airport arrest before a local inauguration. Identity. He is from Ogbaru Local Government Area, Anambra State, Nigeria. His last known jurisdiction was the United States during federal proceedings. Before the scandal, no verified public political office was on record. After the scandal, he was elected chairman of Ogbaru Local Government in 2024. His public profile is tied to a United States indictment returned in 2023 and an arrest in 2024. Snapshot, indicators, and status. Pattern, an alleged multi-platform romance scheme using scripted personas and mule accounts. Alleged loss, $3.30 million US. Status, arraigned, entered a not guilty plea, proceedings pending. Investigative detail. The opening lead was an indictment returned in Seattle on 17 December 2023. Agencies, the United States Attorney's Office and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Tracking vectors included authenticated emails, bank deposits, device extractions, and chat logs. Breakthrough, a controlled travel watch list hit. Arrest occurred at George Bush Intercontinental Airport on November 19, 2024. Custody was transferred to the Western District of Washington. Evidence ledger. Transfer receipts, IP logs, account sign-in records, recovered devices, and sworn affidavits. Scandal evidence and network map. Investigators mapped beneficiary accounts to nominee users in fintech wallets. Withdrawals tied to phone numbers and device identifiers. No sanctioned foreign shell company was proven in court at the last update. Mission recap. Enforcement actions, arrest, indictment, and device seizure. Statutory penalties for top counts can reach 20 years on wire fraud and 20 years on money laundering. Sentencing will depend on the proven loss. National context. The jurisdiction was Nigeria.
Cross-border romance scams have prompted joint enforcement with foreign partners. Accountability, sanctions, and disciplinary status. A local office holder status review opened after the arrest. No party expulsion was recorded in official minutes at last check. Gap clarifier. Some fund flows remain alleged until trial-level findings confirm loss figures. The next entry exposes a power figure toppled by private videos that became public evidence. The top 6 on the list is Montasar Ebang Ngonga, Equatorial Guinea, Sex. Case Spotlight. The scandal entered public view when explicit videos circulated widely and triggered government prosecutions. Identity. He was born on March 15, 1978, in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. His last known jurisdiction was Equatorial Guinea. Before the scandal, he served as director of the National Financial Investigation Agency. After the scandal, he was suspended from his post during an anti-corruption sweep in 2024.
Snapshot, indicators, and status. Alleged exploitation through coercive affairs and filmed encounters. Public records contained hundreds of circulating clips. Status, arrests, trials, and custodial outcomes on connected charges. Several claims remain alleged. Investigative detail. The opening lead was a wave of recorded meetings in Malabo and Bata in mid-2024. Triggers included complaints about distribution and intimidation. Agencies, state prosecutors, and national security services. Tracking vectors, device seizures, metadata analysis, interview statements, and platform takedown notices. Breakthrough. Public identification of a senior official in multiple authenticated clips. Takedown path, arrest, related charges, and court rulings on connected misconduct. Evidence ledger, authenticated video files, metadata extracts, phone contact lists, and sworn testimony. Scandal evidence and network map. Investigators mapped intermediaries who arranged meetings and handlers who circulated files. Payment trails linked a small set of names to hush payment probes. Some allegations remained unverified pending court review. Mission recap. Enforcement resulted in custodial terms on related charges and civil claims flagged by affected parties. National context. The jurisdiction was Equatorial Guinea. Concentrated power and weak privacy safeguards enabled intimidation and blackmail. Accountability, sanctions, and disciplinary status. Suspension from duty and loss of position followed. Travel restrictions and asset checks were reported in official notices. Gap clarifier. Several complainant statements are sealed, and independent verification of some clip origins is incomplete. From leaked tapes, we turn to cocaine routes planned in recorded meetings. The top 5 on the list is Jose Americo, Bubo Nachuto, Guinea-Bissau, drug. Case Spotlight. The scandal surfaced after a maritime interdiction and an unsealing of court filings in New York. Identity. He is a national of Guinea-Bissau, born in 1949. His hometown is Nkala in the Tambali region. His last known jurisdiction was Guinea-Bissau after release from United States custody. Before the scandal, he served as Chief of Staff of the Navy of Guinea-Bissau. After the scandal, he completed a United States sentence in 2016 and later sought to resume national service. Snapshot, indicators, and status. Pattern. Planned reception and onward shipment of large cocaine consignments. File documents coordination with traffickers and storage plans. Status. Guilty plea entered in 2014 and sentencing on the 5th October 2016. Investigative detail. The opening lead came from recorded meetings in 2012 following a coup. Agency. The United States Drug Administration, supported by international partners.
tracking vectors, undercover recordings, vessel plans, warehouse sites, and proposed fee schedules. Breakthrough: an at-sea interdiction near Cape Verde on April 2, 2013. Custody path: transfer to the United States and prosecution in New York.
Evidence ledger, audio recordings, route maps, corporate documents, and witness statements. Scandal evidence and network map. The plan used Guinea-Bissau as a reception hub for shipments bound for Europe and North America. Named aides and intermediaries appeared in filings. The revenue model referenced fees per 1,000 kilograms received. Mission recap. Enforcement focused on cyber intrusion and illegal distribution. No sentence was recorded against the target of the leak. National context. The jurisdiction was Guinea-Bissau. Narco-transshipment exploited weak institutions and offshore islands. Accountability, sanctions, and disciplinary status. Sanctions included custodial time and supervised release on return. Domestic disciplinary reviews are followed within security services. Gap clarifier. Some meetings referenced foreign actors whose identities remain sealed in filings. Next, we examine a sex leak that collided with high office and security concerns. The top 4 on the list is Malusi Gigaba, South Africa, sex. Case spotlight. The scandal entered public view when an intimate private video leaked online and prompted a formal public apology. Identity. He is South African, born in 1971. His hometown is Zisoe, in KwaZulu-Natal. His last known jurisdiction was South Africa. Before the scandal, he served as Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Public Enterprises. After the scandal, he resigned in 2018 and later returned to the National Assembly in 2024. Snapshot: indicators and status. Pattern: leaked intimate recording described in public claims as a hack. Blackmail attempts were reported before the release. No criminal conviction arose from the leak itself. Investigative detail. The opening lead was a hacked device claim logged in 2017 and a broad leak that spiked in late 2018. Agencies: the South African Police Service and Cyber Forensic Units. Tracking vectors: device forensics, service provider logs, and platform takedown notices. Breakthrough: mass posting on social platforms that prompted a national statement. Evidence ledger: video file hashes, platform records, and sworn statements. Cross-border: mirrors hosted on foreign servers. Scandal evidence and network map. Handlers and intermediaries attempted to leverage the file for payments. Intermediaries contacted aides and media intermediaries. No court-verified hush payment was recorded in the public filings. Mission recap. Enforcement focused on cyber intrusion and illegal distribution. No sentence was recorded against the target of the leak. National context. The jurisdiction was South Africa. Digital privacy breaches have become a political weapon in recent years. Accountability, sanctions, and disciplinary status. Ethics review processes and party deliberations followed. Reputational harm contributed to a resignation and a later parliamentary return. Gap clarifier. The original capture method remains disputed and not verified in open court.
The top 3 on the list is Ousmane Sonko, Senegal, sex. Case spotlight. The scandal entered public view after a massage parlor complaint escalated into a televised trial and years of national unrest. Identity. Ousmane Sonko, born in 1974 in Thiès, Senegal, built his political base in Ziguinchor, Casamance. Before the scandal, he was a tax official turned whistleblower and member of the National Assembly. After the scandal, he became the mayor of Ziguinchor in 2022 and prime minister in 2024. His path moved from civil service activism into opposition leadership, then executive power. Snapshot: indicators and status. The pattern was an alleged assault in a grooming setting. A rape charge was filed in 2021.
He was acquitted of rape and threats but convicted of corruption of youth on June 1, 2023, receiving a 2-year sentence in absentia. Political shifts in 2024 altered his legal exposure. Investigative detail. The opening lead was a complaint filed in Dakar. Agencies involved were the prosecutor's office and investigative judges. Evidence included sworn statements, clinic reports, and phone logs. The breakthrough was the 2023 conviction for corruption of youth. Enforcement included custody attempts, travel bans, and house confinement. The case ledger drew from indictments, deposition transcripts, and final judgments. Cross-border activity was minimal. Scandal evidence and network map. Investigators mapped intermediaries who arranged meetings and reviewed chat and call records. No non-disclosure agreements were reported. Alleged financial inducements surfaced in the media but were unproven in court. Mission recap. Outcome: conviction for corruption of youth with a 2-year sentence. No rape conviction. Appeals were limited by the in absentia status. National context. Jurisdiction: Senegal. The trial unfolded amid electoral battles and street protests, shaping public order and legal timelines. Accountability and disciplinary status. His party was dissolved in 2023. Candidacy rights were suspended and later restored. In 2024, he entered government as Prime Minister. Gap clarifier. Several filings remain sealed. Allegations beyond the conviction count are unsettled in law. The top 2 on the list is Sebastian Ajavon, Benin, drug. Case spotlight. The scandal erupted when 18 kilograms of pure cocaine were discovered in a container linked to his food import business, sparking one of Benin's most high-profile trials. Identity. Sebastian Germain Ajavon, born in 1965, rose from poultry magnate to one of Benin's wealthiest businessmen. Before the scandal, he was president of the Employers Association of Benin and a 2016 presidential candidate, finishing 3rd. After the scandal, he became an exiled opposition figure, living in France after multiple legal battles. Snapshot, indicators, and status. The case centered on narcotics trafficking. In October 2016, Benin Customs found cocaine in a container of frozen poultry belonging to his company Common S.A. Initial acquittals were later overturned. In October 2018, the Special Court for Economic and Terrorism Crimes, the CRET, sentenced him in absentia to 20 years imprisonment and a fine of 5 million CFA. He remains abroad. Investigative detail. Customs and police opened the inquiry with container inspections at the port of Cotonou. Forensics tested the seized packages, confirming cocaine. Phone logs, business shipping documents, and witness testimonies were entered. The breakthrough was the CRET retrial conviction, which reshaped his political future. Enforcement included arrest attempts, asset freezes, and trial proceedings in absentia.
Scandal evidence and network map. The network review showed international shipping agents and regional smuggling routes. Alleged accomplices were investigated, though no high-level cartel indictments surfaced. His defense insisted the drugs were planted. Mission recap. Outcome: convicted in absentia with a 20-year sentence. Enforcement was limited by his exile in France. National context. Jurisdiction: Benin. The CRET court was criticized by human rights observers for targeting opposition figures, with the case fueling debates on judicial independence. Accountability and disciplinary status. Ajavon's political movement was weakened. His businesses faced state scrutiny. He remains barred from candidacy due to the conviction. Gap clarifier. The chain of custody of the cocaine remains contested. No conclusive link proved he personally managed the shipment. The top 1 on the list is Bola Tinubu, Nigeria. Fraud, drug links. Case spotlight. In the early 1990s, U.S. federal investigators traced narcotics trafficking and money laundering operations to accounts linked to Bola Tinubu in Chicago. The scandal climaxed in 1993 when U.S. authorities seized $460,000 from his bank accounts under a civil forfeiture settlement tied to heroin distribution networks. Identity.
Bola Tinubu, born in 1952, worked as an accountant at Mobil Oil before entering politics. He became senator for Lagos West in 1992, later governor of Lagos State 2000 to 2007, and now serves as president of Nigeria 2023 till date. The scandal broke before his governorship, while he was building political alliances through the Social Democratic Party. Snapshot: indicators and status. The case involved narcotics-linked financial flows. U.S. District Court, Northern Illinois, filed a case 93C4483 against his accounts. Indicators included repeated cash deposits, consistent with laundering patterns, and direct ties to heroin trafficking networks operated by Muiz Akande. Status: Tinubu denied involvement, settled without admitting guilt, and forfeited $460,000. Investigative detail: DEA and IRS task force agents tracked heroin rings in Chicago. Surveillance, financial transaction reports, and wire transfers revealed that Tinubu's accounts received drug proceeds. Key documents, sworn affidavits by Special Agent Kevin Moss, subpoenaed First Heritage Bank and Citibank records. Breakthrough: Moss's affidavit linking his accounts to Akande's heroin operation. Enforcement: U.S. court-approved forfeiture order. Scandal evidence and network map. Network showed Akande as a financier, couriers in Chicago and Lagos, and Tinubu as the beneficiary of deposits. No criminal indictment was filed against Tinubu himself, but financial entanglement was documented. Mission recap. Outcome: forfeiture of $460,000 in the 1993 settlement. Enforcement: partial recovery by the U.S. Treasury, no prison term. National context: United States, Northern District of Illinois. The case became central in Nigerian political debates, resurfacing during every election cycle. Accountability and disciplinary status. Despite the forfeiture, Tinubu continued his political rise, becoming Lagos governor, party leader, and eventually president. Nigerian institutions never prosecuted domestically. Gap clarifier. The case lacked a direct criminal charge. Forfeiture was civil, leaving ambiguity whether Tinubu was knowingly complicit or strategically insulated. These scandals show that money trails and court files outlive politics. History keeps receipts, and exposure is itself accountability. Like, share, and subscribe for the next investigation.